Hi Yogi, welcome to my channel. My name is Alina and today we have one of my special holiday classes. This one is for holiday meal digestion, a class that is on the floor and filled with a bunch of twists to make your stomach work a little bit better after all that yummy food that we get in our system throughout the whole month of December. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, and remember that I have a full platform, yogawithalina.com, where you can find a bunch of my classes as well. Get comfortable, get on the mat, and let's get flowing. All right, Yogi, we're going to get started in a comfortable cross-legged seated position. I'm not using any props for this practice, but if you have some, you can always sit on the block or on the bolster, on the pillow, whatever you want. I really want you to feel comfortable in this very first pose of the practice. And once you find your pose, straighten out your spine, bring the chin parallel to the floor, close your eyes, and start bringing all your awareness, all your attention inward. I always say this is the moment where you start disconnecting from the outside world. Whatever might have happened before you stepped on the mat, whatever you might be excited for later, and just be here. Noticing sensations, feelings, emotions, thoughts. And then when you feel ready, you can start deepening the breath. Nice deep inhales, matching long, long exhales. I really want you to commit to the breath for this practice. Sending the air up and down the back of the throat, in and out through the nose. And tune into that beautiful ocean-like sound. Let it become a rhythm for the practice. We're going to do a couple of more rounds of breathing, just a few moments here for you to get a bit more comfortable with it. And with me, the next inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And then exhale, twist over to the right. Bring the right hand in the base of the spine. The left hand is going to hook to the right thigh. Look back behind you. We're taking a moment here. The closer the back end to your glutes, the better the twist. Just saying, so that if you want, you can always adjust. And then keep the left hand exactly where it is. You're going to start reaching the right arm up and over the right ear. Leaning towards your left knee, look up to the ceiling. Not really looking for a big range of motion, just enough for you to create some space in the side body. And then from here, bring the right hand outside the left thigh. Pull the elbows in towards one another. Separate the shoulder blades. Bring the chin a little closer to the chest. And then let it go. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And then exhale, lower the hands down to heart center in prayer. Without using your hands, switch the crossing of your legs, the other foot on top, the other foot in front, however it is you're sitting. And then again, inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, you're twisting over to the left. Left hand is at the base of the spine. The right hand is going to hook to the left eye. Look back behind you. Beautiful, beautiful twist. We're keeping the front arm exactly as it is. And then reach the left arm up and over the left ear. Look up to the ceiling. You do not need big range of motion. Remember, it's never really about how it looks. It's more about how it feels. And then from here, the left hand goes outside the right thigh. Pull the elbows in towards one another. Separate the shoulder blades again. Bring the chin a little closer to your chest. And then let it go. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands are going to come down to heart center in prayer. And once you get there, I want you to take a moment to set up an intention for the practice. Why are you here? What brought you to the mat today, and what is it that's going to keep you on the mat the entire practice? Very personal question. Once you've done that, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands are going to come in front of your shins. Keep the sit bones grounded against the floor. Start walking the hands forward, lengthening through the sides of your body. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Again, remember, not really about the depth, it's about the length. Even if you're super far away from the ground, totally fine with me. And then from here, we're going to keep walking the hands further forward. Eventually lift the hips. You're going to roll over your knees and come into a beautiful tabletop. Adjust the knees under the hips. The hands are going to come underneath your shoulders. Take a moment here. And then with me, inhale, drop the belly, arch the back. Exhale, push away from the ground and puff up your spine. Let's do it again. Inhale, open up. And exhale, round and curl. Last one, inhale. Exhale, you're pushing away from the ground. You're going to hold it for a second longer than before. Good. And the next inhale is going to bring you back to your neutral spine. We're bringing the knees together. Bring them a little closer to the top of the mat and then tuck the toes under. Sit back on your heels, making sure that all 10 toes are getting some action on this one. Taking a few breaths. And then together, bring the hands behind the tailbone, clasp the hands together and reach the knuckles down, opening the front of the body, creating a little heart opener for ourselves. And then inhale is going to lift you back up. Staying on the toes. Whatever we're doing next is just a tiny little distraction for us. Bring your hands to the right side of your body and then drop the right ear down. You'll start feeling the stretch going down the left side of your neck. Take a few moments on this one. Good. Inhale, head goes back up. Bring the hands to the center, and then you're going to hook the knuckles over to the left and then drop the left ear down. Feeling the stretch going down the right side of the neck. Another breath here. And the next inhale, bring your head back to center. Bring the hands behind the tailbone. Let's do this again. Open up the heart, send the knuckles down towards the floor. Send the chest up. Inhale, back up to center. Good. You're going to release the hands by your sides. Now here's the thing, do not hate me. We're actually not going to tap out the tops of the feet. Bring the hands at the heart center in prayer and see if you can lean back and lift the knees off the ground without using your hands. Now if that is not working out, and I know it's really, really not easy, then bring the hands down to the floor and do that with using your hands. Totally fine with me. Again, I'm not a monster, but just try. And we're taking another breath in this toe stand. Meet me here. And as controlled of a movement as you can, lower the heels down to the floor. Good. The hips are still lifted. Maybe give yourself a nice loving hug here. Squeeze the chest to your thighs. And then from here, very slowly lowering the hips down to the floor. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart, grab your toes, and you're pulling the crown of the head forward, coming into your Baddha Konasana. Shoulder blades gliding down the back. Doesn't matter how close the knees go to the floor. Some of us are going to have them laying down on the floor. Some of us are going to have them pretty high up. Do not stress about that part. And inhale is going to lift us back up. Beautiful job. Straighten the legs all the way out to the sides. Pull the flesh away from your sit bones. Hands behind the tailbone. Lifting the chest, straightening the spine. And maybe this is where you stay today. If you do want to start folding forward, start pushing into your hands, sending the chest forward. Point or flex your feet, doesn't really matter what you do. Make sure the shoulders are not collapsing down. So if you notice that the shoulders are rolling down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, open up the chest. And then if you want, you can bring the hands in front of you and start pulling yourself forward. I'm going to keep reminding you not about how it looks, more about how it feels, and not really about the depth. This practice is about length. How much more space can you get into your body? Crown of the head is reaching forward. Pointer, flex the feet. I do sound like a broken record, I know that, but I know how easy it is to forget those things in the moment. So remember, still the engagement, still the intention in the practice. And then if you're folding forward, inhale is going to lift you back up. And we're coming back to seated together. Bend your right knee. You're going to bring the sole of the right foot to the left inner thigh. Left leg is coming in a little bit closer to the center. Flex your left foot. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, you're folding over the left thigh. Now, if you want, you can always bend your knee. If you've practiced with me before, you know that I'm a big supporter of that. This one is about hinging at the hips, and a lot of times we do have to bend the knee for that. And if you are taking that option, from there, you're going to start pushing the heel forward, keeping the chest on your thigh. And if the leg doesn't go completely straight, that is totally, totally fine. For example, for me, these are actually the first movements of the day today. This is the first practice that we're recording today. So my body's still half asleep. On top of that, I did work out. My leg is nowhere near being straight, really, and that is fine. I do feel quite a lot on this one, though. Inhale is going to lift you back up, and we're going to bring the hands together at the heart center in prayer without leaning back too far. Flex your left foot, lift the left heel off the floor. You're going to send the left leg all the way back behind you, coming into your pigeon pose. Try to go as far as you can without using your hands, and then eventually you can use your hands to kind of adjust a little bit. And from there, drop down on the forearms. Let your body relax. You can rock a little bit side to side. You can do whatever you need to do here. But always come back to that middle ground. I love rocking forward and back or right to left. But remember, the moment one hip is lower than the other, it's no longer balance. And yoga is all about balance. So try to at least come back to the center. Good, and we're not staying in this pose for long today. We're just going to do about 2 more breaths on this one. I want you to make sure that every round of breathing counts in this practice. And with your next inhale, you're going to walk the hands back up. No drop into the right hip, not yet. Lift the chest. You're going to bend your left knee and send the left hand behind you, grabbing foot or ankle. Pull the heel in towards your glutes. Send the left shoulder a little bit further forward. Try to bring your body facing the front of the rim. Then imagine that one day that left heel is going to touch the floor. Probably not happening, but you're trying. Good, and now we're going to let it go. Lower down on your right hip. You're going to swing the left leg all the way around, stepping the left foot outside the right quad. Once you get there, straighten the bottom leg to lower the left glute down to the floor, because a lot of times it's lifted, but we do want it to be on the ground. And then bring the left hand behind the tailbone. Right elbow, left quad. We're twisting all the way towards the left side of the room. Look back behind you. And just like we did in the very beginning, the closer the back end to the glutes, the better the twist. Knowing that, you can always adjust. From here, look over the right shoulder. Beautiful, and then let it go. Both hands outside the right hip. You're doing the same exact twist. So keep the left hip grounded. A lot of times I know that we like to lift it up, but it's not here, not in this practice. And then come back to center. We're going to bring the left foot to the right inner thigh. Flex the right foot. This is how we go to the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, you're folding over the straight leg. Now remember, I say that we're folding over the straight leg, but the truth is you can always bend it, and that's exactly what I'm personally going to do. And then from there, start pushing the heel all the way forward. At the same time, pull the shoulder blades down the back. If you're not sure about your forward folds, if you're not sure how to make them a little bit more efficient, on my platform, yogawithalina.com, I have a full-on tutorial on that. So make sure to check that out. Going to answer all your questions about forward folds. And then from there, we're going to inhale and lift ourselves back up. Hands come together at the heart center in prayer. Try to do this without using your hands and without leaning back. Lift the right heel off the floor. We're sending the right leg as far back behind us as possible, creating pigeon pose, and then eventually you can use your hands to adjust a little bit more. When you feel ready to drop down the forearms, we're staying here for a little bit. Remember, the sides can be very different. We're doing these poses pretty much one after another. If you've practiced with me before, you know that I like longer flows on one side and then very long flows on the other side. And when we do that, it's very easy to forget how you felt on the right side by the time you get to the same pose on the left. But in this practice, we're doing them pretty much one after another, so you can notice the difference. And the reason why I'm bringing your awareness to that is not for you to kind of beat yourself up about it or, have some negative thoughts about it. Just observe. Just bringing awareness, getting to know the body. No judgment, no expectations. And with the next inhale, you're going to walk the hands back up, lift the chest without dropping to the left hip, bend the right knee and send the right hand behind you, grabbing foot or ankle, quad stretch. You're going to pull the right shoulder forward. Your shoulders are much stronger than your arms, so use your shoulders for this one. And then again, imagine that one day your right heel is going to touch the floor, or your left foot, who knows. And we're going to let it go again. Now you're lowering down on your left hip. You're going to bring the right leg all the way around. Step the right foot outside the left quad. And again, you're straightening the bottom leg so that you can easily lower the right glute down to the floor. Right hand behind the tailbone, left elbow, right quad. Twist over to the right. You're looking back behind you. Another breath here. You're going to bring your gaze over the left shoulder to the front of the room. Good, and then let it go. Bring your hands out to the left and then twist again. Keep the right glute down on the floor. And then we're coming back to center. Slide the right knee out. And you're going to bend the left knee again, coming back into that Baddha Konasana. Now this time, just to change it up a little bit, you can bring the feet a little bit further away from your body. Grab the toes and pull the crown of the head forward. See how that changes the pose, the position of the legs. Again, we do this pose twice in this practice, so you get a chance to explore. And from your inhale, it's going to lift you back up. Hands come underneath your knees. Bring the knees together. Chest goes on top of your thighs. Flex your feet, and you're going to grab the outer blades of your feet. Shoulder blades gliding down the back. Start pushing the heels forward. The moment chest lifts off your thighs is when you're going to stop. This is how I love entering forward fold, and this is how I believe they become the most efficient folds. And again, try. Just give it a chance. The moment chest lifts off your thighs is when you're stopping, but at the same time, you're always pulling the shoulder blades down. You're pushing the heels forward. If the legs are not straight, who cares? We're staying here for another breath. Keep the engagement. And then let it go. You're straightening the legs. You're going to round your back and roll yourself first up to seated. And then very, very slowly engage in the core. You're going to roll yourself all the way down to the floor. Vertebra by vertebra, your head is going to go down the last. And once you get to the ground, relax the body. Take a few moments. Get yourself comfortable. And this is how we arrive into our very last pose of the practice, our Shavasana pose. So I really encourage you to stay here for the next 3 to 5 minutes, letting the body take in everything you just did. And thank you so much, Yogi, for practicing with me today. Thank you for trusting me with your practice. I hope you enjoyed it. And from my heart to yours, I say namaste.